Dusk, a strange melody, drifts through FluffTown, rising from the grates below. Manhole covers along Candle Street begin a soft, rhythmic vibration, humming an unheard song. The air thickens with an ethereal harmony, a sound both beautiful and unsettlingly deep. Candle Street's ornate lamps glow with an unnatural, unwavering intensity. Their light too steady, they cast long, unmoving shadows, creating an eerie stillness that grips the entire thoroughfare. The street itself feels drugged, a silent observer to the strange symphony beneath its surface. Residents pause, drawn by the subterranean chorus, their expressions a mix of wonder and unease. The harmonious hum resonates through the very cobblestones, a living pulse within the inert stone. It's a lullaby sung by unseen pipes, a forgotten memory stirred by the town's hidden machinery. This soft, melodic current weaves through the foundations, seeking purchase in the town's silent spaces. Windows reflect the fixed lamplight, showing rooms that seem to hold their breath, stealing quiet. The harmony intensifies, now subtly shifting in tone, growing more insistent with each passing moment. An odd chill descends, though no wind blows, a borrowed cold seeping from the ground up. The singing becomes a pervasive presence, wrapping around every structure, every migrating brick. It's a sound that feels ancient, a loop of lived memory echoing from the town's deep past. Then, a creeping realization dawns. The song mirrors the subtle rhythm of one's own heartbeat. Each lub-dub from below finds a perfect, unsettling match within the listener's very chest. The beautiful harmony transforms into a chilling, invasive echo, a personalized serenade of dread. Fear blossoms in a pit of stomachs as the external sound syncs with internal life. The town itself seems to breathe with this alien rhythm, a collective pulse under the pavement. Panic sparks in the eyes of passersby, a silent understanding passing between them. The fix-it crew gathers, their faces grim under the unwavering glow of the streetlights. Pox, ever practical, taps a foot, feeling the vibrations travel through the ground into his bones. Luma holds her hand to her throat, feeling her own pulse beating in time with the street. Tick checks his specialized gear, the hum of the pipes, a low thrum against his palm. Moss, usually cheerful, wears a contemplative frown, listening intently to the complex harmonies. Stitch's thread tool, typically inert, vibrates faintly in his grip, sensing the resonance. They exchange knowing glances. This isn't just a clogged pipe, but something far more sinister. The blueprint blue slime of the foundation seems to be reaching, twisting the town's design. This sewer choir is a spell, and its cost is subtly being extracted from the town's core. With grim determination, Pox signals, and they approach a particularly resonant manhole cover. The metal groans softly as they pry it open, releasing a cloud of warm, damp air. A deep, earthy scent rises, mingled with something metallic and vaguely organic, like old blood. The subterranean chorus swells, now clearer, more defined, drawing them into its depths. Below, a dizzying spiral of ladders descends into the gloom. Shimmering with dampness, Luma attaches a portable lamp to her helmet, its beam cutting through the thick, humid air. Moss goes first, his heavy boots echoing slightly against the wet metal rungs. The air grows heavier with each step down, pressing against their lungs, tasting of earth. Blue-green moss clings to the ancient brickwork, glistening with moisture, strangely vibrant. The walls sweat a viscous, blueprint blue slime, slowly dripping down into unseen crevices. This strange fluid leaves faint, shifting patterns like forgotten architectural schematics on the stone. The slime pulses faintly, almost imperceptibly, in sync with the pervasive, rhythmic hum. Tick pauses, his hand brushing against a slick patch, feeling a strange, living texture. He shivers, a deep, instinctual dread coiling in his gut, despite the rising warmth. The moss itself feels paradoxical, a soft, comforting cushion against the cold, hard stone. Yet, beneath that comfort, a current of profound unease flows. A silent, ancient warning. It's as if the very flora of the sewers possesses a shared, unsettling consciousness. Each fibrous strand seems to lean inward, guiding them deeper into the echoing darkness. The light from their lamps struggles to pierce the oppressive humidity, scattering weakly. Tick glances at his wrist, noticing his watch. Its second hand inexplicably slips. It lags 1 full second behind his natural breath. A disorienting temporal stutter. He shakes his wrist, but the anomaly persists. A subtle disruption of fundamental order. This temporal drift is a chilling reminder that the rules here are fundamentally different. The deeper they descend, the more pronounced the watch's temporal dissonance becomes. Luma adjusts her helmet lamp, a frown creasing her brow, sensing the growing strangeness. The air grows thicker. The hum, now a physical vibration, felt deep within their bones. It's a sound that doesn't just fill the ears, but permeates the very cells of their bodies. The walls around them seem to pulse, mirroring the rhythmic thrum of the sewer choir. They reach a wider platform, the damp air clinging to their skin like a second garment. Before them, a labyrinthine network of pipes converges, disappearing into the watery darkness. The pipes hum with an internal energy, their surfaces slick with moisture and ancient grime. They follow the most resonant hum, deeper into the maze of echoing tunnels and channels. The sound guides them, a siren song echoing through the dark, liquid passages. Each turn reveals more pipes, intricate veins of the town's hidden circulatory system. The air grows heavy with the scent of stagnant water and something metallic, almost ferrous. Moss feels his senses heighten, the dampness a living thing against his exposed skin. He points to a subtle shift in the current, indicating a stronger flow toward the right. Pox nods, his face illuminated by Luma's lamp, his jaw set with grim determination. They navigate a narrow passage, brushing against cold, slimy brickwork that seems to breathe. The architectural blueprints of this underworld are fluid, shifting with unseen currents. The hum intensifies, becoming a tangible presence, vibrating through their boots and up their legs. Stitch tightens his grip on his thread tool, its subtle tremor now more pronounced, urgent. It points relentlessly forward, a silent compass drawn by the unseen resonance below. The air grows warmer, a humid heat that feels borrowed from some deep internal furnace. They push through a curtain of hanging moss, entering a vast circular chamber. This cavernous space resonates with the choir's full power, a symphony of unseen forces. Pipes of varying sizes converge dramatically here, like arteries leading to a central heart. The chamber itself feels organic, its curved walls resembling the interior of a massive throat. Water drips from the high, vaulted ceiling, each drop falling with perfect, chilling rhythm. Lub-dub, lub-dub, the droplets strike the murky water below. A giant, slow heartbeat. The sound is mesmerizing, hypnotic, drawing them into its primal, relentless cadence. This is the source, the resonance junction where FluffTown's hidden pulse finds its voice. A massive, circular foundation, seal blocks, an auxiliary channel on the far wall. Its surface is smooth, featureless, absorbing the light rather than reflecting it back. The seal pulsates faintly, a subtle, internal glow emanating from its dark, impenetrable surface. It stands as a silent guardian, a barrier protecting whatever lies beyond its threshold. The crew approaches cautiously, their headlamps sweeping across the ancient, damp stone. Pox reaches out, his gloved fingers brushing against a cold, slick pipe surface. The vibrations are intense here, a physical force humming through the very structure of the chamber. He taps the pipe gently, a soft, metallic ping echoing in the vast space. The sound travels, then returns, not as a simple echo, but something more complex. A low, guttural word seems to form in the air, indistinct, yet undeniably articulate. The chamber itself seems to reply, its deep resonance shaping the returning sound. Luma raises her portable recorder, capturing the ambient sounds and the peculiar echo. When she plays it back, a faint, disembodied whisper emerges, unheard in real time. The whisper speaks no discernible words, yet its presence sends a chill down their spines. It's a voice from the very walls, a ghostly utterance woven into the chamber's fabric. Stitch's thread tool now vibrates violently, its needle pointing directly at the foundation seal. The tremor in his hand is undeniable, responding to a deeper, unseen current of energy. It suggests the voice, the echo, and the heartbeat are all intricately connected to that barrier. Moss feels a prickling sensation on his neck, an ancient, instinctual warning from the moss itself. The blueprint, slime on the walls, seems to ripple, forming transient, unsettling glyphs. These patterns shift and reform, like living architectural plans, rewriting themselves endlessly. Tick's watch continues its temporal stutter, now skipping 2 seconds. Compounding as the rhythmic drips from the ceiling grow slightly faster, subtly accelerating the chamber's pulse. The sewer choirs, harmony tightens. A pressure building, a sense of unseen forces gathering. Pax clenches his jaw, recognizing the signature of the Foundation's manipulative influence. They realize this isn't just a leak, it's an intentional resonance, a controlled symphony. The town's very heartbeat is being orchestrated, its hidden pulse harnessed for some unknown purpose. Luma quickly unpacks acoustic baffles, designed to disrupt specific resonant frequencies. She moves with practiced efficiency, attaching the sound damping panels to key pipes. The baffles absorb the vibrations, their dark surfaces seeming to drink the oppressive sound. A momentary hush descends on the immediate area, a small pocket of silence in the din. Pox, meanwhile, retrieves rubberized clamps and begins reinforcing vulnerable pipe joints. He works swiftly, his muscles straining against the immense pressure contained within the pipes. Each clamp he secures provides a small measure of stability, a temporary reprieve from the tremor. The metal groans in protest as he tightens the bolts, fighting against the internal forces. Moss, with his unique connection to the town's organic elements, begins to hum softly. His voice, a low, melodic counterpoint, aims to desync the chamber's pervasive heartbeat tempo. He pours his calming energy into the air, trying to soothe the agitated vibrations. The moss on the wall seems to respond, its blue-green glow dimming slightly in his presence. Stitch, observing the Foundation seal, notices faint spiderweb cracks forming on its dark surface. The pressure from their repair attempts is having an effect, but perhaps not the intended one. The deep hum of the sewer choir shifts, becoming sharper, more insistento, a note of warning. Above ground, in the quiet streets of FluffTown, an insidious backlash begins to manifest. Residents walking home suddenly sway, their steps faltering as if the very air grew heavy. A profound lethargy washes over them, their eyelids drooping, their movements becoming sluggish. One by one, they begin to faint, collapsing onto the cobblestones like puppets with cut strings. Their breathing becomes shallow, their pulses weakening, as if something drains their vital energy. The streetlights on Candle Street, once unnaturally steady, begin to blink erratically. Their flickering forms a distinct warning pattern, eerily reminiscent of Season 1's glitches. The light pulses in a frantic, desperate rhythm, a silent alarm echoing through the empty streets. It's a language of fear, understood by those who remember the town's previous reorganizations. The Foundation system is rerouting the harmonic pressure, like blood finding another vein. It seeks new pathways of influence, new points of vulnerability within the town's design. The drained energy from the fainting residents feeds this redirected pressure, intensifying it. Back in the chamber, the cracks on the Foundation seal deepen, growing more numerous. A low, grinding sound emanates from within the barrier, a groan of immense internal strain. The rhythmic drips accelerate further, now a frantic, hammering pulse against the water below. The entire chamber trembles, the very stone vibrating violently with the contained force. The sewer choir's hum becomes a high-pitched whine, bordering on an unbearable screech. Luma's baffles struggle, their surfaces glowing faintly as they absorb the overwhelming energy. Pox's clamps groan, some of the rubberized material beginning to fray under the stress. Moss's soothing hum is drowned out, his efforts overwhelmed by the escalating chaos. Tick's watch spins wildly, its hands blurring, losing all sense of accurate timekeeping. The blueprint slime on the walls now churns, its patterns shifting with alarming speed. It's as if the town's very architecture is screaming in protest, rewriting itself under duress. Suddenly, with a deafening crack, the Foundation seal shatters, fragments exploding inward. A torrent of warm, humid air rushes out from the newly opened auxiliary channel. It feels like a living breath, a hot exhalation from some vast, hidden organ below. The channel yawns open like a gaping mouth, revealing a dark, unseen passage beyond. A strange, sweet scent, like ozone and forgotten dust, wafts from the opening. The sewer choir's chaotic whine abruptly shifts, transforming into a low, ominous hum. It's a warning, a deep, resonant growl that vibrates through their very bones. The previously frantic heartbeat slows, becoming a deeper, more deliberate throb, full of menace. Luma instinctively shines her lamp into the newly revealed tunnel, but it seems to absorb the light. The darkness within is absolute, a void that feels ancient and profoundly unknowable. Stitch's thread tool ceases its frantic vibration, now pointing steadily into the abyss. It's a silent, unwavering directive, a magnetic pull towards the newly opened mystery. Pox feels a primal urge to retreat, an instinct screaming at him to flee this place. Yet, the crew stands transfixed, drawn by the unsettling allure of the unknown channel. The air in the chamber grows heavy, thick with the unnameable presence from beyond the seal. A low rumble begins, not from the pipes, but from the very foundations of the town. The water in the main chamber begins to rise. Slowly at first, then with alarming speed, it surges from the auxiliary channel, as if triggered by their intrusion, by their very presence. The murky liquid swirls, creating small eddies that tug at their boots, trying to pull them in. The surface of the water reflects the flickering lamplight, a dark, churning mirror. Tick stumbles, caught off guard by the sudden rush, nearly losing his footing on the slick platform. His watch now spins uncontrollably, its compass function going haywire. Losing all sense of direction, he feels a profound disorientation, unable to distinguish up from down, left from right. The chamber itself seems to twist, the walls blurring, playing tricks on his perception. The rising water reflects the shifting patterns of the blueprint slime, creating a dizzying display. The powerful current tugs at their clothing, attempting to drag them towards the gaping channel. Pox, despite his own unease, acts quickly, grabbing Moss by the arm, pulling him back. He shouts over the rising roar of the water, urging the others to move, to escape. Luma quickly secures her equipment, her eyes scanning for the quickest path to the ladder. The ladder, once a clear path, now seems distant, obscured by the churning, rising water. The air grows heavy, the very atmosphere seeming to resist their movements, holding them captive. The sewer choir's low hum vibrates through the water, a deep, resonating song of entrapment. Stitch, with a sudden surge of inspiration, pulls out a spool of his specialized thread. He quickly ties several sturdy knots, creating a dense, tangled mass of enchanted fiber. The thread shimmers faintly, imbued with the magic of FluffTown's living blueprints. He aims for the newly opened channel, preparing to jam its egress, to stem the flow. The water now reaches their knees, its cold embrace a stark reminder of their peril. Pox, with a powerful heave, hauls Tick and Luma towards the distant ladder's base. His strength is prodigious, fueled by the desperate need to extract his crew from this trap. Moss scrambles up the first few rungs, his hands slick with blueprint slime, but holding fast. Stitch, with a final, forceful throw, hurls the knotted thread into the channels. The glowing thread expands instantly, a fibrous net catching against the channel's rough edges. It snags, it tangles, creating a temporary but effective blockage against the surging water. The flow of water from the auxiliary channel immediately slows, though it doesn't cease entirely. The crew scrambles up the ladder, their movements urgent, propelled by the lingering fear. The sounds of the chamber recede below them, swallowed by the increasing distance and the water's roar. They emerge onto Candle Street, gasping for breath, the night air a welcome, cool embrace. The streetlights, which had flickered erratically, now hold steady once more, their glow normal. The unconscious residents lie scattered on the cobblestones, slowly stirring, groaning softly. Their faces are pale, but the heavy lethargy seems to lift, a strange energy returning to them. The pervasive hum of the sewer choir, which had dominated the entire street, has completely stopped. An unsettling silence descends, deeper and more profound than before the choir began its song. It's a silence that feels fragile, temporary, like the held breath before a greater storm. The crew stands on the street, disoriented, their ears ringing from the intense vibrations below. Tick checks his watch. It now functions perfectly. Its second-hand ticking in perfect sync. The temporal distortion has vanished, leaving only the memory of its disorienting effects. Luma's recorder, still running, captures the eerie quiet, a stark contrast to the earlier cacophony. Moss feels the ground beneath his feet, sensing no lingering vibrations, no hidden echoes. Pox surveys the scene, his gaze sharp, searching for any lingering signs of the Foundation's touch. Stitch's thread tool is still, its needle no longer trembling, its guidance no longer needed. For 3 excruciating seconds, an impossibly deep, resonant heartbeat reverberates beneath the town. It's not the familiar lub-dub of the chamber, but a colossal, ancient thrum felt in their very bones. The ground trembles faintly with each beat, a primal rhythm echoing from unimaginable depths. This is the town's true, monstrous pulse, the hidden engine of its conscious architecture. It's a sound of immense power, a vast, living entity stirring beneath their feet. A collective gasp escapes the crew, their eyes wide with a shared, terrifying realization. Then, as abruptly as it began, the giant heartbeat ceases, swallowed by the oppressive silence. The sudden quiet is almost more unnerving than the thunderous pulse, a void of sound. A moment of stunned disbelief hangs in the air, thick with unspoken questions and lingering dread. Suddenly, the mayor's loudspeaker, mounted high on a lamppost, crackles to life. Its familiar, overly cheerful voice cuts through the tension, a jarring intrusion. "Good evening, citizens of the automated voice proclaims, devoid of genuine emotion. "A minor harmonic fluctuation has been detected and rectified. All systems are operating normally. The bland, reassuring words feel like a deliberate lie, a thin veneer over profound chaos." The speaker repeats the message, its tone unwavering, a loop of false comfort. The crew exchanges a look of grim understanding. The Foundation is already covering its tracks. The town's official narrative reasserts itself, erasing the unsettling events from public consciousness. But the crew knows better. The blueprints of FluffTown are far from stable or benevolent. They remember the blueprint, blue slime, the whispering echo, the accelerating drips. They remember the feeling of the chamber replying, a living entity beneath the streets. The images of faint residents and flickering streetlights are seared into their minds. The memory of the massive, hidden heartbeat will forever haunt their waking thoughts. The Foundation seal, now shattered, hinted at something vast and terrible beyond. The auxiliary channel, a gaping maw, breathed out secrets they were not meant to find. The knotted thread, a desperate measure, only temporarily stemmed a greater, unknown force. This episode ends, but the questions linger, burning brighter than candle street's lamps. What lies beyond that broken seal in the absolute darkness of the hidden channel? What is the true purpose of the sewer choir and the town's orchestrated heartbeat? Who or what is listening, responding, manipulating FluffTown's deepest rhythms? The crew stands under the silent streetlights, their resolve hardened, their fears amplified. They are mere cogs in a machine they barely understand, a machine that is alive. The town reorganizes itself, not healing, but reshaping its very essence around them. Streets continue to shift overnight. Buildings, remembering different versions of their own interiors. The wiring hums, lullabies, drawing residents towards places they shouldn't go, like moths. Statues update their posture, silently observing, their stone eyes following unseen paths. Rooms steal quiet, leaving an oppressive silence that whispers of forgotten truths. Heat is borrowed, leaving homes cold, while unseen places grow warm with stolen energy. Loops of lived memory replay, trapping residents in moments they desperately wish to forget. Black coins, transactional fate, wait in murky fountains, stamped with unsettling predictions. The siren's speaker crackles, echoing Foundation breach, a warning that chills them to the bone from the very air. The crew knows their journey into FluffTown's core has only just begun, leading deeper. The map is alive. They realize a sentient entity that doesn't want them to leave. Escape in this shifting, conscious town seems an increasingly impossible, meaningless concept. They are caught in its intricate design, entangled in its living, breathing blueprints. The foundation isn't just beneath the town. It is woven into its very design language. Blueprints are not mere plans here. They are potent spells, reshaping reality with every line. And every spell, they understand, with growing dread, demands a significant, often terrible, cost. The crew's path now leads them towards an unmarked foundation door, hidden behind a mural. They know this door cannot be opened by force, nor by any conventional means of entry. Every tool they might use dulls instantly, as if the metal itself is being forgotten. It is a gateway that requires a different kind of key, a sacrifice of memory or self. The door, they suspect, can only be opened by forgetting, by shedding a part of who they are. But what if the door opens anyway, not by their will, but from the inside? What waits on the other side, beckoning them into FluffTown's deepest, darkest secrets? The silent street holds its breath, the town itself poised on the edge of revelation. The crew stands, united in their fear, yet driven by an unyielding need for answers. Their faces reflect the steady lamplight, etched with the knowledge of what lies beneath. The hum of the wires, a faint echo of lullabies, seems to follow them home. Tomorrow, a new puzzle awaits, a deeper dive into the town's living. Martia Borden Takoa. For now, the silence of Candle Street is a deceptive shroud, hiding untold terrors. The true heartbeat of FluffTown remains a mystery, powerful and utterly terrifying.